Did you know that Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of the iPhone than to the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza? Let that sink in for a second. Ancient Egypt is one of the most fascinating civilizations in human history. It gave us the pyramids, mummies, hieroglyphs, and some of the most iconic rulers the world has ever seen. But beyond the sand and stone lies a story of innovation, spirituality, power, and legacy that shaped not only Africa, but the entire ancient world. In this video, we're diving into the full story of ancient Egypt, from its mysterious beginnings along the Nile to the dramatic fall of the last pharaoh. And don't worry, we're keeping it fun, simple, and packed with jaw-dropping stories. Birth of a civilization, circa 3000 BCE. Let's rewind all the way back to around 3100 BCE. This is when ancient Egypt really kicks off. Egypt wasn't always one big kingdom. It started as two separate lands, Upper Egypt in the south and Lower Egypt in the north. Yes, it sounds backwards, but it's based on the Nile's flow. Enter Nama, also known as Menes. He's the guy credited with uniting the two lands and becoming the first true pharaoh. Imagine it. One king, two crowns, one Nile River running through the heart of it all. The Old Kingdom. Age of the Pyramids. 2686 to 2181 BCE. This is where Egypt starts flexing its architectural muscles. The Old Kingdom is known as the Age of the Pyramids. Pharaohs like Djoser and Sneferu begin experimenting with massive tombs. But it's Pharaoh Khufu who goes full beast mode and builds the Great Pyramid of Giza, over 2 million stone blocks, each weighing several tons. And they didn't even have the wheel yet. How? Historians still argue about the details, but what's clear is this: the Egyptians were master engineers, and they believed building big helped you live forever. The Middle Kingdom. Rebirth and expansion. 2055 to 1650 BCE. After a period of chaos and collapse, yes, even mighty Egypt had its dark times, the Middle Kingdom rises. This era is less about giant pyramids and more about art, literature, and expanding Egyptian influence beyond the Nile Valley. Pharaohs started to portray themselves as more approachable, even relatable. Think of it as the ancient version of a royal PR campaign. But just when things were stabilizing, here come the Hyksos. The Hyksos and the New Kingdom. Egypt's Golden Age, 1550 to 1070 BCE. The Hyksos were foreign rulers who took control of northern Egypt with horse-drawn chariots. The Egyptians had never seen anything like it. But eventually, native Egyptian rulers pushed them out and kicked off what many consider the greatest era in Egyptian history, the New Kingdom. This is the time of legendary names. Hatshepsut, the badass female pharaoh who ruled like a king. Thutmose III, the Napoleon of Egypt. Akhenaten, the weird one who tried monotheism. And of course, King Tut, the boy king whose tomb stunned the modern world in 1922. Ramses the Great, the ultimate pharaoh. No Egyptian king left a legacy quite like Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great. He ruled for 66 years, longer than some empires last. He built monuments everywhere, including the massive Abu Simbel temple carved into a mountain. He also fought in one of the world's earliest recorded battles, the Battle of Kadesh, and signed what is probably the first known peace treaty in history. Ramses made sure no one forgot him. Ever. Even today, his mummy is on display in Cairo, still holding on to that "I'm kind of a big deal" energy. The fall, invasions, decline, and the end of an era. All good things must come to an end, and for Egypt, it was a slow fade. After the New Kingdom, Egypt was invaded again and again by Libyans, Nubians, Assyrians, Persians, and finally Alexander the Great in 332 BCE. The last chapter? Cleopatra the Seventh. Yes, that Cleopatra. She was brilliant, politically savvy, and the last pharaoh of Egypt. But after her defeat and death in 30 BCE, Egypt officially became a province of the Roman Empire. From uniting a divided land to building some of the most iconic structures on Earth, from Ramses to Cleopatra, ancient Egypt gave us 3,000 years of wonder. And while their temples may crumble, their legacy lives on, in museums, in pop culture, and right here, in our curiosity. If you enjoyed this journey through time, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment with your favorite Egyptian fact or pharaoh, and don't forget to subscribe for more bite-sized history that actually sticks. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present.